Hello, it's Gilman Toll here, and I'm going to be playing Planet Express today. Planet Express is a game I've been working on for a while now, so I thought I'd share it with you. I started working on it after thinking, I love Kerbal Space Program, but I really wish I could play it on my phone on the way to work. I'm trying to capture the fun of flying a rocket ship around the solar system in a simple mobile game. Hopefully you have as much fun playing it as I had making it. So, let's get started. In this game, you're the captain of a delivery ship, and your goal is to deliver cargo to planets, moons, and space stations around the solar system. To do that, you'll have to get into orbit, fly to your destination, and either land or dock. Let's skip the rest of this intro and just start playing. Here's our rocket, sitting on the launch pad on the planet Earth. You can drag anywhere on the screen to look around, and you can pinch to zoom out. Here we are, that's the planet Earth. You can also slide your finger up or down on that little pad on the left in case you need to zoom one-handed. All right, we are zoomed back in and ready to go. Let's start by picking a mission. Have a couple of options here. Let's take tourists to Mercury. Sounds fun? We'll accept the mission. We'll tap on the background to get out of it. But to complete any mission, you're going to have to start by getting into orbit around the Earth. So let's do that. The flight controls are here at the bottom of the screen. You've got your flight stick in the top middle, your roll stick on the bottom middle, and your engine throttle on the right. Now this is an alpha stage game, so the art's not really there yet, but everything else does work. Alright, let's get started. We'll turn our throttle up to maximum. There's our engine burning, and we're off. Now you can see your altitude up here on the left, along with your other orbital parameters. There's the launch pad, falling away below us as we go up. Now as you know, if you've played Kerbal Space Program, getting into orbit is all about going up and going forward. So let's turn our rocket so that it's about a 45-degree angle to the ground going forward. We'll push the steering stick at the bottom of the screen up to tilt forward. There we go. And about, all right, 45 degrees elevation. You can see that on the upper right side of the screen. If we look around, you can also see that the yellow line, which shows the direction the rocket is moving, is starting to tilt forward a little bit instead of just going straight up. Now let's switch over to the map view and take a look at what's happening here. We'll tap the map button. Here's a top view of the Earth. Let's zoom in a little bit. And there's our rocket's trajectory in blue. Let's actually flip around to the bottom so we can see it a little bit more clearly. All right, there's our rocket. And as we keep accelerating upward, the top of our orbit gets higher and higher. And as we keep accelerating forward, the orbit gets wider and wider. Let's keep on accelerating until the top of our orbit gets to at least 100 kilometers above the ground. That's how high the atmosphere is, and we want to make sure we don't get caught in the atmosphere. You can see the height of the top point of our orbit, which is also called the apoapsis, here on the left. It's about 75 kilometers now, and as we keep on accelerating, the orbit keeps on getting higher and higher. We'll let it go a little bit further, and then at the time when we reach 100, we will shut our engine off. Let's give it a few extra. Perfect. 104. And now what we're going to do is we're going to wait as we coast upward. You can see the curve of the Earth falling away below you if you look around here. You might also notice if you look at the bottom right that we've used up some of our fuel because that little green bar has dropped a little bit. As I said before, we need to wait as we coast upward until we're just about at the top of our trajectory. Because we have a little ways to go, how about we actually speed up time by using the warp controls in the upper right? Let's start by tapping the fast forward button. Let's switch back here. We'll tap fast forward, and then we'll go back to normal speed when we're about 10 kilometers away from the top of our trajectory. You can see the atmosphere start to fade as we rise, and there, normal speed. Perfect. Now let's look at our orbit again, back on the map view. If we don't accelerate forward some more, what's going to happen is we're going to reach the top of our trajectory, and then gravity will start to pull us back down until we crash into the ocean. That's no good. So let's use the flight stick to turn the rocket parallel to the ground and parallel to the orbit, going entirely forward. And then we'll turn on the engine again so we start to accelerate forward. Now let's go back and look at our map view here. You'll see that the orbit is getting wider and wider as we accelerate more and more forward. As our engine burns, let's take a look around. You can see that everything has a label on it in our heads-up display. There's the moon, Luna. There's Izzy Station in orbit around the Earth. Let's look around a little bit more. Oh, there's Venus. There's Mercury off in the distance. Excellent. As we burn forward, you can start to see our periapsis rising and rising. When it gets above 0, that means it's going to be above ground level. But what we really want to do is get it all the way above the atmosphere also. We want to get the low point of our orbit to 100 kilometers also. Let's zoom out a little bit and see our orbit. See, we're starting to go around the Earth. And as we reach 0, then we will reach the bottom. Excellent. And once this gets above 100, we will stop our engine now. Perfect. Let's take another look. We'll see here that we are now in orbit above the atmosphere around the planet Earth. Let's take another look at our trajectory. Maybe not a perfect circle, but it's close enough for today. Let's zoom back in here. And now that we're actually, in orbit around the Earth, we don't really care as much about the ground anymore. So what we can do is we can tap the camera button, to switch our camera view so that down is relative to the solar system and not to the ground. There we go. But now we should probably rotate our ship so that the ship is pointing down relative to the solar system. We'll use our roll stick to rotate it here. And here we are. We're in a nice orbit around the planet Earth. If you want to see more of the planet, you can zoom out. And if you want to see the other side of the planet without having to wait to go all the way around it, you can tap the warp button in the upper right to speed up time by 100 times. Here we are, orbiting the Earth. We're on the night side. And then we can start to see, as we go around the other side of the planet, we can start to see the sunrise. And now we're on the day side again. All right, switch back to normal speed. We'll take another look at our mission here. All right, take tourists to the surface of Mercury. Well, now we actually have to get to Mercury, but that's for another video. For now, you can just enjoy the view. Have fun!